Happy Tuesday to my awesome Wholesale to Million family. We're back with another subscriber first wholesale deal interview. And man, this guest must have been on the channel for a while, and finally got him on to share with you guys his stories, how he got his first wholesale deal done. He just closed on a JV deal at the end of 2018, December 31st. Right when the year's all wrapped up, close on his JV deal for $3,500. Wholesale deal. You guys help me welcome Luke from Albany, Georgia. What up, buddy?
Hey, man.
Let's go. What's that, dude?
It's just crazy, man, to be on here. I've been like one of the longest subscribers here, and seeing you back, I went back and watched some of your older videos from like 2017 and just how far you've come. It's been really inspirational.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Awfully, the way that I dress definitely changed a little bit. Start out with t-shirt and jeans, and right now I'm in the phase of tie and vest, man.
Yeah, man. I'm digging it. Matches the car.
Thanks, man. Hey, Luke, I want to say, dude, thank you so much, man, for being a part of the family, for being a part of the community, helping everyone out, and thank you so much. For those of you who haven't followed me on Instagram, hit me up on IG at Khang, Khang, dot like a period, WTM. Luke is also on there as well. So, yeah, dude, I'm going to hand it over to you and jump into sharing with everybody kind of your stories. So kind of where you're at, where your life is at, and then how do you merge into a real estate as wholesaling?
Yeah, man. I've been in the construction trades for quite some time. I started out as a painter working for my wife's granddad. We started, I guess it was about '04, basically when I was getting out of high school. Got in paint and contracting. I guess I did that for about 6-7 years. And then I started doing some handyman work as working for my wife's brokerage. They managed an apartment complex of about 30 units. So me and her father worked together, doing odd jobs, this and that, and as a handyman. So I've been kind of familiar with understanding what's necessary to renovate properties and all that. And so then I think I came across you or somebody else on YouTube doing the wholesaling. And I was like, well, I need to check that out and see what that's about, because that's way better money than what I'm doing. So my wife's a realtor. She's not active right now, but she was. So we looked into it, and we started trying to do it locally. Problem with here locally is that most of your landlords and your end buyers end up going to the courthouse and doing their own deals. There's really no room for a wholesaler in my market. And not to mention the attorneys here are very, very difficult to work with. Most of them don't understand or don't want to deal with assignments. So, as far as the whole state, Atlanta is the only market that you can go and wholesale actively in. It's very difficult to do it anywhere else. So, so that's what led me to be more attracted to what you do, which is virtual. Get out of your market, find something else you can do, especially in this day and time. You can find cash buyers nationwide. So that's when I started following up. Let's see, I guess it was around September 2017. I went and I purchased a $5,000 wholesaling course. It started out well, but it just wasn't for me. How they wanted to handle certain showings and other issues, I just didn't agree with. I didn't like how they were doing it. So I was like, man, I got to get that money back. The wife wasn't happy about that. $5,000 gone. And so I kept trying to push and find other ways. And then I ended up losing my job. It's been 7 months now. So imagine going 7 months without a paycheck. Your savings is going to get gone. And so I managed to team up with this guy I'm working with now, my partner, and he really helped me out, gave me a lot of advice, and helped me with some leads, and that's what led to this deal.
Gotcha. So Luke, your partner now, is he just Is he a wholesaler? He fix and flip or what?
Yeah, he's a wholesaler too, and he specializes, in getting leads uh, through Google. And so, I paid him, and we worked together, um, and that's how we come across deals nationwide. So that's what led to this deal up in Vermont. You know, it was under contract. He got it under contract, and he heard my story, kind of wanted to help me out, and so I said, let's JV on it. So that's what led to the process. He got it under contract. Like, let's see, it was November 5th for 23 grand. Um, the owner uh, passed away, and she left it to her daughter. Well, her daughter lived in Florida, so she just wanted to, give it, uh, not give it away, but she wanted, to get out of the house as quickly as possible. She just wanted to make some money on it. So um, we ended up marketing it. I did Craigslist. I did other methods. I have software that has buyers on it. So I pitched it to some of them and was getting some feedback on it, but it was pretty bad. The place had a lot of work that needed to be done. It had been trashed. It was left open. And, coming winter time, it was going to be pretty bad in Vermont as far as snow. So we were kind of worried that we were going to even be able to move it. Um, but ends up, I put it on Facebook Marketplace, which is, a big no-no. Oh, wholesalers don't put anything on Facebook Marketplace. But I was specific. I clarified in the description that this is, assignment, purchase assignment, that you're going to be purchasing the contract, not the house for sale by owner. And so ends up have a guy who reached out to me. What day was that? He reached out, I think December 1st, reached out. He wanted to go by there. The place was open, so we let him go in, and he got back to me December 3rd and said that it wasn't worth anywhere close to what we were asking. And I said, okay, cool. And so we kind of left it at that. And I guess about a week went by, and I said, you know what? I need to get some feedback from him. I need to find out, he's a buyer. I know he's a buyer. You can always tell buyers on the phone. That's one piece of advice I can give all wholesalers. You can find out real quick if somebody's a real buyer or if they're another wholesaler. There's just a whole nother attitude that they have. And so I reached back out to him. I said, okay, so what was the issue with the property? What do you think needed to be done? Or was it price, or was it too many repairs? And he said, well, you know what? I'm going to be over in that area a little bit later on. Let me just swing back by there and go inside and look at it again. So he goes back by there and looks inside again. And I think I want to say that was like the middle of the month, like December 14th or 15th. And he comes back and he says, well, yeah, let's see what we can do. And we had it. We were asking 39,000 for it. Had it under contract for 23, and he came back at 30, and we said, okay, we'll do it. So the only holdup for the rest of the month was actually a death certificate. We had a death certificate that the woman had to sign, that her mom had passed away, that title needed. And so I think she got it snail mailed because she lived in Florida. So had to come from the health department all the way down to Florida and then all the way back. So, but as soon as title got that, I mean, we were squared up, we were ready to go. So we closed December 31st.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So now, so here's a couple of things, Luke. So this leads come from where?
Google.
Okay,
Google
so this leads come from Google PPC.
Mm-hmm.
And your partner's the one that locked this up on the contract.
Right.
Okay. And so pretty much this is an inherit property.
Yeah. She
right?
inherited it.
Okay. Yep. And the daughter lived in Florida. So, and the property's in Vermont.
Right. Springfield.
Okay. So it come from PPC. And how much did she originally ask for it? Do you know?
I'm not sure what she talked to him about. Usually, that's one thing I really do like about PPC though, is it's a lot different conversation on the phone versus cold calling. I
Right.
mean, when you pick up the phone and give them a call back, they've already put their information in the landing page and everything, so they kind of, I think there's a little bit different motivation sometimes than just someone who's calling about a vacant property or a high equity property or something like that. So I'm not sure what that conversation was, but uh, it was paid off, I believe, for a while. So I think she was just interested in getting, whatever he thought was fair. So he
Gotcha.
locked it up for 23.
So locking up for 23, I guess the property's vacant.
Yeah, it was vacant, had a lot of belongings left behind in it. Um, the it was a flip property. Well, I say it was a flip property. That's one thing unique about this buyer too, is he's got to flip it, but it's a rental property. So he is said he's going to send us some photos back of what he's got to do, and we're excited to see that. But he's definitely going to have to renovate it. We estimated the renovation to be about 35,000, based on the square footage. It was 1,167 square feet, uh, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, ARV about 96 on it. And but when I was pushing the deal, I had somebody who wanted to rent to own it, and I got from him that he was interested. I think he said in paying about $1,700. So it's actually a pretty good cash on cash return when you consider somebody paying $1,700 for a property that the guy got for 65,000 all in.
Right, man. Absolutely. Oh man. I mean, that kind of return all day long, bro. All day long.
Right, right,
So ARV on okay, so ARV on this property is 96. You guys estimated the repair was 35.
right.
Everybody want to know what was the earnest money?
We didn't get any.
Zero
We
earnest
we
money with the seller.
Yeah. What you mean with the buyer?
No, with the seller.
Oh. You mean, yeah, $10. It was $10.
All right, you
Yeah, but
guys. So Luke, what do you have to say to those that said, "Oh man, I don't have money for an earnest money"?
that's a sad excuse, my friend. That's sad. That's not an excuse. $10, $100, $500, borrow it from your granny. Do whatever you got to do to lock up a deal. I think the biggest problem is, people just are they. I don't know why people are scared to do it. The contract is key. You must have good contingencies in the contract to protect yourself, like you talked about the other day. Um, And the biggest issue I see with wholesalers is nobody has a clue what it takes to rehab a property. And I come from an advantage standpoint of that, being in, construction. I kind of have an idea of what it's going to take and what needs to be done to a property. And also the difference in knowing what needs to be done for maximum ARV for the flipper versus rentable condition for the landlord. Okay, so that's a big deal. And then you have to understand the difference between who your end buyer is going to be and what the actual house needs to be. Does it need to be a portfolio rental, or are you in a market where the local comps support a flip property? So, like in my market, I mean, everywhere around here is nothing but rentals. You would be, I think you'd be kind of crazy to go out and flip a house because the comps are just so old. Whereas if you go to somewhere like Atlanta or like where you are, or Phoenix, Arizona, Raleigh, North Carolina, these places, there's a lot of flipping going on. So you have to know your market. That's very vital. So, but yeah, people have excuses. I don't know. I know one thing: the wholesaling business has a lot of high turnover. Uh, People they think they know what they're doing, and they don't know what they're doing. So there is a lot of high turnover, I think, in this business.
That's right, man. There's only two things that you can have, and you can't have them both. Either excuse or results. All right.
Right? Yeah,
So
all day.
so those of you who said about letting earnest money hold you back from making it happen, then maybe you shouldn't even be in the business.
Yeah. If you're scared about the earnest money, that means it's not a deal, right? Like perhaps you shouldn't even make an offer on the house, or the seller wants too much for their property. Okay, so those conversations all happen before the paperwork goes out through DocuSign, or your deposit goes to title. So those conversations and that evaluation of the property has to happen well in advance before you start playing with money.
Awesome, man.
So
You guys, I want you guys to take some notes here. For those of you who, just like Luke just mentioned, if you have, like when you start out, some of you guys don't have any background in construction. You don't know how much thing costs to updates. That's why we're giving you a ballpark here. So this property is 1,100 square feet, a little bit over 1,100 square feet, 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Luke, so the 35,000 that you budget, does that include it like granite countertop, like top-notch rehab, or just rental rehab?
yeah, rental rehab, bare budget, just getting some laminate floors put in it, getting the stuff that had to be replaced. Like it needed a new roof. It needed some serious landscaping done to it. But yeah, it was a good price. And even, we were asking 39 and under for 23. So we had a ton of wiggle room on that. So that kind of helped, with the buyer, that he came down off $9,000 and we still made a good profit on it. So
Yeah, man.
that's another factor. Just getting those properties locked up.
Yeah, dude, Luke, I want to say congrats, man. So now the property's vacant, the seller's in another states. Now, do you guys do this deal virtually?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We never walked my partner's in Houston and I'm in Albany. So like we just got photos and rolled with it.
Oh, dang, bro. So, how do you get pictures?
I think, let's see, I think the seller provided them. Yeah, I think she had somebody up there that got photos, a friend or family member, something like that. And if we don't go that route, we get them through Thumbtack. You can always pay a handyman in the local market, $100, $50, something like that, and they'll go. And that's really good too, because the handyman. One good thing about hiring a handyman to take photos is they know what to look for. So they're going to take a picture of that mold spot over there in the corner that the seller's not going to take a picture of. So that's something else, as far as spending money, that's worth it as well. If you've got a deal, if you think you've got a deal, spend the money on the handyman to take photos.
Gotcha, man. So now when you guys set up, so you found the buyers, right, Luke? So
Right.
you actually the one that found the buyer.
Yep.
And then since the property's vacant, it's pretty much easy to show. So
yeah.
So how many buyers did you have to walk through until you got this one?
I think we only had one other walkthrough. I think we had at least 6 to 8 that saw the photos and passed. But as far as a walkthrough, I think we only had one other.
Gotcha. And one thing that Luke mentioned here, you guys, that I really want to point out for those of you who don't know, when you have a buyer that have already walked through the property and they just came back and just pretty much tell you, nope, it's not going to work, do not let it go. What you want to do is you want to talk to the buyer and get feedback. Feedback as in why they wouldn't buy it. It all comes down to numbers. Listen to me. If they are a cash buyer, fix and flip, or buying at a rental, it really all comes down to number. Real estate's, it all comes down to numbers. You just got to ask them and get a number from that buyer, what works for them. Do not let the buyer go. If that's your only buyer, do not let it go. I mean, I would say every buyer that actually walked through the property, which means they're interested, right? They have expressed interest into the property. For some reason, it doesn't work for them. It's because of the price. So ask them. Ask your buyer. Do not let them say, oh, no, it doesn't work. And then you just like, oh, it's not a deal. Oh, the numbers too. Ask your buyer what works for them. And then at that time, you get to choose to either go back and renegotiate with the seller and try to see how you can make it work. But just don't, so remember to do that. Now, on this deal here, Luke, so how much of a non-refundable did you have your buyer put down?
0. That's what I thought you were asking earlier. Yeah, we didn't get anything. I asked my partner about it, and we just said, you know what, let's just feel it out and see what he says. And because of the conversation I had with him, you can kind of pick up, who's a buyer and who's just playing games. So we said, you know what, we'll just let it roll. We'll see how it goes. So we didn't ask for one, and he ended up waiting on us for the death certificate. He was like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this thing renovated. What's taking so long? We're like, it's snail mail. We can't help it.
You're like, dude, I want to get it done too.
Yep.
But dude, I mean, the buyer, this is a killer deal. I mean, the buyer got a really good deal. He's all in it at 65 plus all the closing costs and all the fees after all the renovations. The buyer's in it at for 70 G's, right? 70K. And he's getting 1,700 bucks in rent. Oh my God, dude. I can't. Dude, for those of you guys who wants to make like 5 or 10,000 passive a month, dude, like you pick up a couple of these, man, that's it right there. Luke, can you hear me, dude? Hello? Luke, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I had a breakup right there.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, can you hear me?
No problem, man. So the buyer comes in. I mean, that's pretty much the deal. So now, how did you? I want to know is how do you find your partner?
Facebook, just networking with other people in the wholesale groups. Uh, Reached out to him, just reaching out through text and Facebook Messenger and just talking and having conversation. And it's been great.
Gotcha, man. So what are you doing right now as far as in marketing? What marketing channel are you working on?
Yeah, still doing Google PPC. He's helping me with that, and yeah, getting leads that way, and also have some local guys I'm working with. Ever since I've closed this deal, I've teamed up with a few other people and other wholesale groups that are having trouble moving stuff. I already had buyers in Atlanta when I first started the course. I started trying to push deals in Atlanta and get stuff under contract that way. I really think that's the best way for most new wholesalers out there. If you're struggling, make yourself, grow a buyer's list in a particular market and be an asset to a wholesaler who understands how to get stuff under contract. So, and because I think most wholesalers don't understand how much work there is, new wholesalers, how much work there is from start to finish. And so if you can kind of break it up and be an asset, provide value by being someone who can bring in cash buyers to a particular market. I mean, there's plenty of wholesalers out there that are having a ton of trouble moving their property for whatever reason. And so, understanding cap rate, Google that, learn that. My goodness, learn cap rate because that's a huge deal. Landlords are always going to pay you more than a flipper will. The flipper's in the short game, right? So they're gonna be stiflers for the price, whereas a landlord's in the long game. So he's going to be more likely to pay you more money for the property. So if you can become an asset that way, it's key.
Gotcha. So hey, Luke. So do you wholesale in your market, or are you just completely in a different market?
Completely in different markets, pushing, getting deals all over the place. Google PPC, you can kind of target different stuff. I just sent out before I came on here, I just sent out a purchase agreement with a seller in Shreveport. So I'm gonna lock that up today, and then let's see. I think I got 5 other ones I'm working on right now that are in, where are we at? We got one in North Carolina. We got one in Pennsylvania. Trying to remember the other one. I forget where the other one is, but yeah, I've had a busy morning already today. So yeah, multiple markets. Buyers, man, if it's a deal, they're not as hard to find as people make it out to be. That's one problem I had with my course. They were all about reverse wholesaling, building this huge buyers list. I know there's a lot of controversy on that. Oh, get a bunch of buyers first, and then you'll, once you get a deal, you can find exactly what they want. To each his own. I think both methods may work. For me, I found that as long as it's a killer deal, in a for the right amount of I mean, dang, look at the proof I got.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about Vermont. I couldn't even drive to Vermont. What are you talking about? And I found, yeah, and keep this in mind, the buyer was a nurse from Houston, and he just happened to be in Vermont, working there temporarily, and he was picking up a house nearby, and he saw my ad and decided to jump on and buy that one as well.
Oh,
So
dude, that's crazy.
yeah, so the buyer's not even a local. He's totally just temporarily in the Springfield, Vermont area at the time and bought the house. So
Oh, dude, that's crazy. Hey, so for the $5,000 course, or like, what didn't you like about it? Like, what happened there?
Oh man, it was just a lot of it I did agree with, and I didn't necessarily have a problem with. It's just when it got to the end, they wanted you, it was about virtual, and they wanted you to be able to have a buyer go by the property, and then you're going to get on the phone with them, and you're going to tell them, "Oh, I'm on my way. I'll meet you there." Uh, and like I don't know how stupid they think buyers are, but they can look at your area code and say, "Okay, this dude's from Georgia, and he's about to meet me in Vermont." Right. Yeah, that's going to happen. And then they wanted you to call back when they got there and make up an excuse why you couldn't make it.
What?
And so, yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Like these are savvy investors. They're not stupid. And so even if you manage to pull off some miracle and get this buyer, you're never going to work with that buyer again. They're going to know you're full of it. So, uh, there are just little things like that in the course that just didn't add up to me. And my BS radar went off, and I said, "Well, I guess that's 5,000 I'll never see again." So I should have known.
Hey, you know what? But that what pushes you to like, hey, you know what? I gotta get my money back. Otherwise, the wife.
Yep, gonna be in the doghouse, son.
Oh, dude. Okay, bro. When I don't know if I told you this or all of you guys this, but when my wife and I first got into real estate, we went to the 3 days seminars. I got scammed for $7,000, bro.
Wow.
So, dude, so basically, and hey, you guys, I'm sorry for getting off topic, but we pretty much discussed and went over Luke deal already. You know what? Before I share that, Luke, why don't you share with everybody how they can come in contact with you and work with you with JV or whatever? So,
Yeah, man. Just find me on Facebook, Luke Mitchell, Instagram, the real Luke Mitchell. Uh, yeah, just find me on Facebook. I'm in most of the wholesale groups. Wholesaling houses daily, wholesaling houses full time. I'll be in there all the time. So yeah, you should be able to find me that way. And yeah, if you got a deal, I'm all about JVing. Like I said, I think that's the biggest thing for new wholesalers. All you guys out there that follow Kong and you're trying to do your first deal, make yourself valuable, and you can make yourself valuable and have an asset by by going out of your way to always be available, to push the deals, uh, take the time to Google, learn about cap rate, uh, talk to a contractor. Heck, everyone lives somewhere, right? So, and most contractors give free estimates. So, what I would say is you could even have a friend or family member or get someone who does free estimates to come out to your house and do a walkthrough like you're about to flip the house. How much would it cost to replace all this carpet? How much would it replace the granite countertops or paint or whatever? Get all that from someone you trust in your local market or the market that you're going to be wholesaling in. And so you instantly picked up a ton of value that now you can provide to someone else. So all there is, like you said before, there's excuses and then there's players. You don't want to be an excuse maker. You want to be a player.
love it, man. Love it, Luke. Any last word for motivation, inspirations that you want to give everybody that's starting out and maybe they're just struggling trying to get their first deal done, bro?
Yeah, man. Besides what I've already said, follow the big dogs. Follow people like Ed Milet, Grant Cardone. Follow these guys who are at the top of the food chain. Okay, whatever you do, don't listen to your mom, your dad, your brother, unless they're rolling. Unless they're rolling like Kong is, then listen to them. But like, don't listen to those people who, you know, they're worried about eating at McDonald's because they don't have enough money. Are you kidding me? Why are you taking advice from that person? They don't know. You got to go to the top of the food chain. And I credit YouTube with my success. YouTube and my partner, because you could eventually YouTube's probably going to have a university, like legitimately, like you can pay for it, because learning online right now is so easy that you get. I don't see why you wouldn't monetize it more. So you've got to go out there and get the free advice from Google and YouTube and grow in the business and have those conversations on Facebook with people who are doing stuff. If you see a guy who's constantly pushing deals, I see a lot of guys in the Facebook groups who are doing 20, 30, 40 deals a month. Friend request them, be their friend, talk to them, ask questions. If you're not learning, you're going to be poor. At the end of the day, you're going to stay poor.
I agree, man. I agree, you guys. So for those of you who, I also get comments and questions. It's like, hey, I've been watching a lot of your video. I've been watching this person video, that person video. Stop collecting information. Just start taking action. All right, you guys. I don't care if you make 1 phone call, 2 phone call. You get your business card going. You open up your, start a Facebook page of We Buy Houses with your company name. Whatever it is, it's basically what it is. It's just get you rolling, right? Get you in the vibe, get you in the mood, and just get you rolling instead of all you're doing is just listen and gather information, because you're afraid to make mistake. No matter what, I don't care how much information you get, you are going to make mistakes. So why not just go out there and just get it done and get the mistakes and get it over with.
Yeah, there's a saying called either succeed or fail quickly. So if you're going to suck, just get it over with.
Well said, man. Hey, Luke, I think we're going to wrap it up, man. I mean, that's pretty much it to Luke's deal. You guys have been awesome, man. Hey, first of all, Luke, when did you initially start? Like, when did you initially start in wholesaling?
My God, I guess probably June or July 2017.
Bro, dude.
Long time coming.
I want you guys to listen. This is a guy with like freaking persistent, all right? June, dude, I can't even say it without laughing, man. June of 2017, and didn't close his first deal until December of 31st, 2018. The reason I point that out for you guys is I want you guys to understand. I getting you guys some of these people, Luke. I get email. Oh, Khang, I've been at it for 2 months. Oh, I'm feeling so stressed out. Should I let go? Should I give up? Like, what should I do? 3 month in, 4 month in, 5 month in. Come on, man. Luke, dude.
Just get out of the way. Just get out of the way. Because if you're going to make excuses after a month or two, please get out of the real player's way. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's reality.
And, this is the results when you stick with it and you're persistent and you're taking actions and you get it. And Luke, just make it happen. Hey, Luke, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you taking your time to jump on, man. I'll share my story in the next video or something like that. But I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Congrats. I wish you lots more success. And let's crush 2019, bro. Amen. What do you say?
Oh man, I'm hoping to do 12K a month by the spring.
So by springtime, hold on a second, dude. I'm gonna write this down. By springtime, Luke is gonna do 12K a month.
Yeah, hold me to it.
Oh yeah, man. And then you guys follow. So follow this, all right? I'm gonna so typically what I do is I bring them back to kind of see where they're at. So Luke, 2020, man. By the end of 2019, we're gonna bring you back on again and see where you at that time. Okay, bro?
Sounds great.
Let's stay connected. Thanks a lot, you guys. Thanks a lot. For those of you who are new to the channel, if you haven't subscribed, listen to me. What are you waiting for? Smash the subscribe button. Join the Wholesale to Million family. Let's take your life, your business to a whole nother level. And the thing is, you guys, if you do enjoy this, please show our guests some love. Smash that thumbs up for me. And also, too, is turn on the bell notification so when I upload a new video or when I go live, you get notified. Luke, thank you so much. Everyone, thank you so much and have a great day. Ciao, Luke.
Peace out.